Welcome to the video show. Today I'm going to talk about why OhioSt Wisconsin is the new Florida, Alabama. So if you remember, you've heard that Urban Meyer is got hired as the new head coach at Ohio State, and that's huge news because Urban Meyer is one of the best coaches in the country. Probably I would say top three, right up there with Saban, Les Miles, Urban Meyer. Right now I would probably put him at two. He's definitely top three, top five coaches in America. What he did at Utah, making them into the one of the top non-AQ schools when they weren't in the Pac-12 yet when he was there. And then he went to Florida, and he had the 2 national championships and great success at Florida. And then he had to retire a couple years ago. But now he's back, and he's going to be the coach at Ohio State. And if you remember when he was at Florida, Florida and Alabama are two of the best teams in the SEC, two of the best traditions and program history. And going back when Meyer got there, especially a little later on in 2008 and 2009, really the two best teams in the country were Florida and Alabama. And Florida was the spread under Meyer. Florida was the spread athletic speed team, a little undersized that could just spread you out, get you in space, and eat you up. With Tebow and then guys like Percy Harvin, Jeff Dent, Rainey, and then on defense they were undersized at times, but they could beat you. Florida was just a great team in the 2007, 08, 09. And then on the other hand, Alabama was the physical, running, tough defense, huge guys that kind of beat you up and won games that way. If you remember, they had guys like Terrence Cody on defense, Marcel Darius, Rolando McClain, Trent Richardson was on those teams, and you remember the year Mark Ingram won the Heisman. And under Saban, Alabama was kind of the beat you up, run downhill team. And so on one hand you had Florida, and on another you had Alabama, and they were the two best teams in the country, completely different styles. The one and two best teams in the country. And in 2008 and 2009, you kind of knew that, hey, these two teams are the best teams in the country, and they're gonna meet up in the SEC championship, and then the winner will go to the national championship. And in both those years, the first year Florida won the SEC championship game and then won the national championship, and then the second year Alabama won the SEC championship and then won the national championship. And if you remember, the first year, the year that Florida won, they kind of did exactly what they were built to do. They kind of spread Alabama out, kind of exposed Alabama with that Florida speed, and they beat them that way. And the year that Alabama won the game, they just out-muscled Florida, kind of. They really beat up Florida's offense, Alabama's defense did, and then they just ran downhill with Ingram and Richardson. Florida couldn't really stop them. And both those teams were really good. So what does that mean for today? Well, here's the interesting dynamic that I'm excited for over the next some years. The same thing's now going to happen in the Big Ten. You have Meyer at Ohio State, and you have Brett Bielema's Wisconsin. What was Meyer going to do at Ohio State? He's going to recruit the speedy guys. He's going to do the spread on offense. He's going to try to expose other teams in space. He's going to have a really formulaic design of beating you. Special teams, speed, defense. His offense will take the lead and then his defense will be able to just suffocate your offense with their speed and beat you that way. And then what is Wisconsin trying to do these years? They have all 5 offensive linemen well over 300 pounds, downhill running game, and big physical defense that tries to beat you up. Reminds you of Alabama, Florida those years, doesn't it? Does to me. The only difference is that Florida and Alabama were in 2 different divisions in the SEC, whereas Ohio State and Wisconsin are in the same division. So Florida and Alabama, they played in some years in the regular season, not always. They kind of rotated because they were in the divisions, but Ohio State and Wisconsin will play every year in the regular season, and they won't play in the Big Ten championship game if they were to get there. So even if they're the 2 best teams in the conference, they're in the same division, so they won't be able to play. So that's the difference, but we'll be able to see that every game. So we're going to find out in the coming years what's the right style. Is it the Meyer beat you with the formulaic spread speed, or is it the 300-pound O-lineman punch you in the mouth? I'm excited to find out who's right. I think if you know, watch my videos and stuff, I'm a huge Urban Meyer fan. So we'll see. So can't wait for those Ohio State Wisconsin battles in the coming years. So thanks for watching, and that's why Ohio State Wisconsin is the new Florida Alabama.